Fire Bubba Ventrone today.
The Browns come off another loss, this time to what I thought was an even worse team, but apparently not, the New York Jets. Fire everybody. Fire absolutely everybody. Like, what are we even doing?
Yeah, I mean, I laugh because it's hysterical at this point, man. Like you had a chance to get the ball back and potentially drive down the field, tie the game, go into overtime, and your lack of preparation, your lack of whatever you want to say is the reason we lose this game. You jump off sides for no reason on a play that they were definitely not going to do anything at the end of the game. It's just so frustrating. It is so baffling to see Cleveland go in and go out there and do things that it feels like we're back in like the 2016 season when we were losing every game and doing stupid things left, right, and center. I can't believe that we lost this football game, not because we're a good football team, but it's the fashion in which we done it. I have a tweet to highlight how historically awful this Cleveland Browns loss is. And that is, if it would pull up, how unlikely was Jets 27, Browns 20? Since 1950, teams have been 225 and 0 when holding opponents to 175 or fewer yards and not turning the ball over. The Browns were the first team since 1950 to lose in that span. Absolutely absurd.
And that's not the first time we've pulled stats like that this year. That's the thing. Like, we continually set historical records in ways in which we lose. Teams are, 542 0 or and 1 and 0, and we're the one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting my numbers right, but you get what I'm saying. I am so frustrated. I said to myself before we got on here to recap this, I'm not gonna rant. I'm not gonna say fire anybody. I'm gonna turn over a new leaf because I don't care anymore. But that's BS. I do care, and I'm frustrated. I will tell you this: we're supposed to be at Muni Lot next week. We will be at Muni Lot next week. I don't want to go. The only reason I'm going is because we committed to do a show and for the fans of our show. But to spend any time or effort to do anything with this team is frustrating to me. I'm not going to the game, Noah. We talked about going. No, I'm not going. We're gonna continue to stick with Gabriel. I gotta do better. Blah blah blah. Kevin, like, get out of here. Just fire everybody. Like, literally everybody, except maybe
That's
Jim Schwartz.
well, no, he can go too because his defense can't stop an outside run to save its life. We've seen it all season. They need to clean house. And you make a great point talking about Dylan Gabriel because I think that is a perfect transition into what has been a conversation for you and I since probably his third start. And it is if this kid is so ready. What the hell is Shador Sanders doing that he is not ready? Because I haven't seen this lack of preparation out of him in terms of anything I saw during camp, during right now. It's baffling that somehow, some way, for some reason, this Cleveland Browns brain trust that had such a great draft has decided that Dylan Gabriel is the quarterback they want to hang their hat on so desperately. Nobody wants to see it. That kid is going to get booed out of the building when he comes to Cleveland for the Baltimore game. I'm talking 17 completions on 32 attempts, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. He hasn't thrown for over 200 yards yet, and all of his balls, whether it be the touchdown pass to Jerry Judy or some of his other, it's ducks and they're ugly balls and they're not placed properly. I don't get what they see in this kid.
How about that dirt ball when he had a clean pocket, plenty of time, and a man open, and he proceeds to throw it directly into the ground? Like, I don't want to pile on this rookie quarterback who, frankly, is still a kid. But again, it's the decisions flowing downward. And I can tell you what is wrong with Shador. He wasn't Kevin's guy or this front office's guy. Period. That's where it ends. I think that's the only thing stopping them from playing him because you had 2 weeks to prepare. We see what we get out of Dylan Gabriel, and it's hot dog shit. And yet we continue to roll that out. And I don't think we're tanking purposefully. I think that that's just how bad we are at this point. Maybe it's a good thing, but we talked about this. We don't want to tank. I'm so fed up. So fed up.
I'm so fed up too, man. And you say you don't want to pile on Dylan Gabriel. Screw that. Let me pile on real quick. This play right here, you can see it on your screen, ended in a sack. Look at how many open receivers you can see on your screen right now. It's absolutely absurd what is going on with this. The amount of times they shifted him out of the pocket, basically telling us he can't see the field when he is in the pocket, the amount of rollouts, he's not the answer. Let's see what's in Shador. What is it going to hurt at this point? The season's already over. I mean, it's been over for weeks, but it's really over now with this loss. There's no way you're digging out of this one, right?
No, I mean, John Sharp, wherever you are, wherever you're watching, let's just plan our dumplings that I owe you now because, yeah, the season is absolutely over. There's no way we're eclipsing 5 games, that's for sure. And I agree with you. I do want to ask what you thought of the play calling today because that example you give, 4th and 1, when you're now 8 yards off the line of scrimmage and 9 yards away, because of the drop back is what I'm getting at. And yeah, he had guys open. Obviously, he needs to hit the guy in the flat for the first down. I don't know what's going on there. But in a general sense, what did you think of the play calling?
I thought it actually looked a lot better. The thing
Agreed.
that was frustrating with this game is you would expect with Stefanski having a lot more focus on like the operational side of being an NFL coach, that a lot of those things would be cleaned up. We took a delay of game in this game. We wasted a timeout because we weren't, up at the line of scrimmage before the play clock was over. So nothing changed on that front. That's what's more frustrating. But I thought Tommy Reese did a good job in his NFL debut, honestly. I was pretty happy through and through with the play calling.
Yeah.
Even when they ran a trick play, they ran a little like fake hand to Malachi Corley. And I liked that trick play, not because it got us the first down, but because it was a fast developing, not this stupid end around or double pass thing like that. Oh,
Yeah,
we
we
just
tried
don't
that.
have the, yeah, well, we did, but Dylan Gabriel didn't know how to hit
Over
a receiver wide
overthrew.
open.
Yeah, he couldn't make the first pass. Listen, I at this point think that Kevin Stefanski is the biggest fraud on any sideline in the NFL. Like I genuinely don't know what he's doing. And I say that again just because you mentioned all he had to do was manage the game, in this game. And not to say that all he had to do. A head coach has a lot of responsibilities, but he couldn't get that right. Like, what in the world is going? He's like that. Remember, you haven't seen it, but there's a show, and they're like sneaking into a funeral or something like that, and there's just saying, "Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious." That's Kevin on the sideline because he's like, hopefully nobody finds out that I have no idea what I'm doing.
We held Justin Fields to 54 yards of passing and lost
Yeah.
the football game. I
We outgained them, we won the turnover battle, like, every meaningful statistic, we looked good in, meaning we beat the Jets in, not we necessarily look good, and we lost the football game,
well,
and
it
that's a
comes down
tale.
to it
Special
comes down
teams?
yes, that. It comes down to special teams, Eric. It comes down to a guy that I have not been happy with for 2 years now, and yet we still employ in the orange and brown and Bubba Ventrone. 2 2 returns for touchdowns? When's the last time you've seen 2 returns for a touchdown in an NFL game?
I I can't tell you, I mean, it's rare, that's for sure,
And that
and yet
is
we've continued kicking to players too, by the way, like,
it is a complete
what?
detriment to Bubba Ventrone, the fact that that happened. The fact that it happened basically back-to-back special teams plays, I'm pretty sure, in the first quarter. If
Mhm.
you take away those 14 points, the Browns blow them out of the water because they played that kind of football today. It's absolutely absurd to me that a guy that was touted so highly to be a special teams coordinator got brought in here because he was a former player, has such an abysmal special teams unit trotting out there week after week. And this isn't on the kickers and the punters because that's not what Bubba Ventrone does. He schemes the blocking and the returning on special teams, and it's abysmal. He doesn't deserve the paycheck anymore either. Clean the damn house.
Yeah, clean the house, and again, it's laid at the feet of the head coach, though. I'm not making excuses for Bubba Ventrone, but this is a guy that Kevin Stefanski brought in and has been around for, as you said, 2 years. And again, what are we doing? Like, Like, what are we doing? What are we doing as fans? Just in general, what are like, why are we putting so much passion into this team? I love Cleveland and I love Cleveland sports and I love the Browns, but ownership down is absolutely ruining football. They're ruining it.
Cleveland has this whack, sadistic relationship with this team at this point because we had what, two good seasons out of all of this misery after all the tanking we did in the mid
3.
2010s? Three. What's your other
We
one?
went to the playoffs in 2002 as well, where we lost
I'm
to the
talking
Steelers,
since
but
2016 and tanking.
oh,
We've had
okay,
two good
gotcha.
seasons since the tank. And yet here we are. I sat and watched the whole damn game. I'm going to go sit and watch the whole damn game next week. Like, I cannot believe that we are going through this. And you know what the most embarrassing thing is about this whole situation right now?
What's that?
It's top down. It's from ownership. It is from
Yeah.
everything. A guy, J.W. Johnson, he's on the ownership group of the Cleveland Browns, put out this tweet after we beat the Green Bay Packers earlier this season. I know all the trolls will come out, but who cares about the trolls? Huge team win, and thank you to the fans that showed up, supported this team, and for not selling your tickets to the fans of the other team. 1-0, LFG, hashtag dog pound, just rubbing it into the fan base that lines your pockets is completely absurd to me. And he hasn't tweeted since that tweet because why the hell would he? He should have X deleted off of his damn phone after saying that kind of thing. He was responding to fans in his comments section, making comments back to them. What
And
are we doing?
remind the viewers who this is, Noah.
He is married to one of the Haslam's daughters. He is one of the heir apparents to the Cleveland Browns throne after Jimmy and Dee pass away.
So just to get this straight, the guy that never did anything in his life besides marry a billionaire's daughter, or maybe he did other things, I don't know, but nothing of note to become a Browns owner, is tweeting things like that because he is in the line of succession now for a team that he didn't buy with his money.
Correct. That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
I pulled up the tweet on the side real quick just so I can read. Someone, the top reply was, "Shut the F up, loser." He responded with, "Troll. Why are you responding to your fan base that is upset with the quality of pro?" Like, I love the Green Bay win. It was fun. It was great to see in person. It was great to see them pull that out. But that wasn't a game that was pretty and that we should have won. That wasn't a game that you should hang your hat on and victory lap the people that are paying your damn bills. I don't get
By
it.
the way, what did 1-0 even mean? We were 1-1 at that point,
Oh, because
or
they go through the
1-2.
mantra of winning the week, like forget the last week. So your goal is to go 1-0 in the week. That's a Kevin Stefanskiism.
Let's get rid of that while we're at it because listen, I don't want to pile on too much, and I think the Haslams have done some good while they're here. But Jimmy D, if you're listening, maybe this isn't for you. Like maybe try soccer or
They do.
basketball.
They
Like
have the crew and they have the
oh
Bucks.
well,
They've tried it.
okay, fair. But maybe put all your eggs in that basket now because football clearly isn't working. According to Kevin Stefanski, we talked about this before the show. If you know Madden, you can call plays too. So I mean, Noah, you and I might as well apply at this point to start calling plays. Maybe here's an idea on the screen, like Madden, before each Browns play, we can have live interaction where fans vote instantaneously, like we want A, and the largest vote gets fed into the QB's ear, and we run that play. Because at this point,
You know
that's
that's a
probably going to
thing.
be better.
Not to go on a tangent. You know that's a thing.
No, is it for
The
what?
fan-controlled football league was a thing. Johnny Manziel played in it, and the fans would watch on Twitch and be able to vote on 4 plays that popped up on the screen, and whatever the most voted for play was the play that the team would run on the field. The fan-controlled football league. You just
That's
described it to a T.
That's funny, I did not know that. I arrived at that idea independently, and I don't wanna see it implemented in the NFL, I wanna see it implemented for the Browns only. And let's go a step further, let's do it with ownership decisions. Are we moving the team? Yes or no? We'll put everything to a fan vote at this point because honestly, running the team by committee that way has got to be better. Like, I can't imagine I can imagine being a billionaire, but I can't imagine being a billionaire who controls everything in their life. Like nobody tells you no, and yet you are a failure at your primary job at this point, which is to run an NFL franchise. A failure.
Yeah,
How does that not sit to like how are you not burning the place down that you're so angry? I'll tell you
because
why. I have an
his
answer.
fingerprints are all over it. Go ahead, yeah.
No, that's not why. Because he's still making money. That is chief primary concern number 1. I think the fact that they are a successful franchise in the sense of earning dollars and, having worth must outshine everything else. That must be the only thing they care about because honestly, I just don't have an answer for anything else. Like if I were the man, the buck stops here sort of situation, I would be livid. I would be pulling my hair out and doing everything in my possible power to make sure that me being a failure and a joke to the other owners of this league would not continue. And yet here we go. We're on the clown car in the circus over and over and over again.
It's the same old story, the same old song and dance. I have to bring it up because we used it as an intro forever ago when this whole fiasco really started to take off. Not that they were ever really looking great this season, but when it was really starting to pile on 3, 4, 5 games into the season. But that song, that Siri joke that we made way earlier this season, just continues to ring true in terms of everything going on with the Cleveland Browns football and the Cleveland Browns organization. I don't get how it doesn't embarrass them that this is what they have been putting out year in and year out since they bought the team. I understand that it's an expansion franchise and it's harder and you have the deck stacked against you, but it was an expansion franchise 26 years ago. It's time to get that excuse out of here and start winning some damn football games and start putting a cohesive product out on the field. It's mind-boggling. And
I just I struggle to understand like you have very smart people working in this organization. Like you just by nature, like you have to, right?
yeah.
You have strategists, you have people whose job is to think of everything. And yet this is where we still sit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to pretend like it's easy to win in the NFL. It's not easy at all. It's not, Robert Kraft looks like a genius because he had Tom Brady and Bill Belichick for years. I'm not saying it's easy, but this is what we get. I mean, for God's sake, Jim Irsay dies and his wife takes over and she's running a franchise with an odds for one of the best odds to win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl. And that's nothing to count against her. Clearly she's a very smart woman, but she didn't even own the team. She got the team and now it's better. She's on the side. She got made fun of because she's on the sideline with headsets and whatnot. They're winning. They look amazing. And the
Yeah, but
Browns are still stuck.
think just real quick, we don't have to go on this tangent, but what if that was Jimmy on the sideline with the headset on? Wouldn't you be pissed? Because I would not wanna
Not
see
if
that.
we were winning. If we were winning and had the same record as the Colts, no, not at all. We'd be pissed because we'd be 1 in whatever or 2 in whatever. That's the
Right,
difference. But
right.
my point, what I'm trying to illustrate is that you have an entire organization worth billions of dollars. You're paying out tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars as part of this organization. And nobody, like, if this were a business being ran besides the profitability side, it would be a tanking business. Like, I just don't understand how the on-field product can be so bad.
Because we're all sadistically in love with the Cleveland Browns, and that's the sad part about it. I want to turn the attention back to the game for a couple minutes because we talked about some keys to the game that I thought were going to help us to win, and I think they did a good job. My two was to get the two Pro Bowlers going. Well, Jerry Judy had 6 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. And then you look at one, David Njoku. He was 2 catches, 21 yards, but he had the first touchdown of the game. So you can't really be upset with either of those performances. And yet we still went out there and laid a stinker. We got to see Carson Schlesinger get in on, it was really a half a sack, but he was in on a sack. Miles Garrett had a sack. It wasn't the 3 or the 4 like we were talking up when we were doing our show at High and Dry
But
Sunday
go
morning.
on.
Well, us and the crowd, we'll leave it at that. Me and the crowd, I should say. I we even didn't have to watch Jerome Ford play after all his complaining on TikTok last week. He only had 1 carry, and then he also had 1 target in which he, of course, dropped the football. But I thought game plan wise, getting people involved, it looked great. So I can't be upset about that.
First
What
half.
I'm ups what?
First half.
First half. Well, the
It
second half was solid as well.
it feels like the more the game matures, though, we find ways to lose, whereas other teams find ways to win.
That's fair, but we also did give up the 2 kick returns in the first quarter, and that's a
And
big storyline here.
that's my point, though. It felt like that was the turning point, even though we went into the half, we were tied, right? 17-17. It felt like that was a turning point, and then it kind of fizzled from there. We kicked 2 more field goals. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
It's so frustrating. I get what you wanna start justifying things, and then you're just like, "They suck. They're horrible. Why are we doing this?" So I gotta ask the question. I know Stefanski already came out and said Dylan Gabriel's our guy, which I think is also absurd to double down on a guy before you even watch the tape on it, but
1
that's
more
just
field
me.
goal, but go on. Sorry, I correct
Yeah, yeah,
myself.
yeah. It's absolutely absurd to double down on a guy without watching the tape or without, like, sitting down and breaking down anything. I just don't understand that thought process at all. I get he's a young quarterback, but when do we see Shador? Are we gonna see Shador? Like, I was joking. I woke up in the mood of feeling legendary, and we were gonna see him in the Jets game. Obviously, that didn't happen. I didn't truly think that was going to happen, but um, when do we see him? Because at this point, man, I'm good on Dylan Gabriel. I know what we have, and it's nothing special. It's nothing that I would not want to take a quarterback next year for. It's nothing that I don't want to trade for a guy just so we have a better quarterback in the room next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a few things need to happen. Monday morning, Kevin Stefanski needs to be fired, like, period. And after that, whoever we name as interim coach as we begin our search to replace him for next year, I think we make it clear that Shador Sanders is starting the rest of the way. Let's see what he has. Let's throw it out there. Develop your game plan, do your thing. But there's two things coming down: Kevin Stefanski fired, Shador Sanders starting. That's what I would do. What will likely happen? Uh, you're
Nothing. The
yeah,
answer is
Dylan
nothing
Gabriel
because
starting, another loss. Who do we have next week? Remind me.
the Baltimore Ravens, who are
That's right.
surging with Lamar Jackson back.
That's right. Yeah, and they kicked our butts the first time we played them. Close in the first half, but then ran away with it in the second half. Ironically, another live show that we did at a bar out in Garrettsville. But I don't expect much to happen. But at this point, like, how do you go into Monday keeping your job? Like, and I'm not a huge fan of firing mid-season. We've talked about this. I know you aren't
Right.
either. But do you disagree? Like, at this point, how do you not just start the cleaning house process?
Well, you think that the Deep Podesta move that we've talked about briefly in a couple episodes now was the first step of the cleaning out process, whether it was him leaving or seeing the paint on or the paint on the wall, the writing on the wall, and moving forward and going with a different job or whatever. I I don't agree with midseason firings, especially a guy that's a two-time coach of the year. Not
That
that
means
I know that,
nothing. I
but
knew
can
I'm
can
so
I
tired of
finish my
people
take?
bringing that up. Yes, you can, but
Can I
that
finish
means
my take? Because
nothing.
it's not me defending Kevin Stefanski. It's me defending the thought process of keeping him because you're showing other potential coaching candidates that are going to come up when you do this search in the offseason that you're going to give them a chance to stick, especially when there's proven written success out there. The two coach of the years to me don't matter as much as anything anymore either.
Hey, Noah,
Yeah,
how long has Kevin Stefanski been the coach of the Browns?
6 years, something like that.
That's plenty of time. I think that says enough to potential candidates. Like, no, this two-time crap. One of his came after a playoff win that he didn't even coach. Like, I'm so tired of hearing that. Honestly,
It's such a sticky situation for this Cleveland Browns team of what the hell to do. I totally agree and totally get why people want to see him fired by the end of today, Monday morning, whatever. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see Dylan Gabriel out there. I think we're going to be frustrated as all hell playing the Baltimore Ravens because nothing's going to change, even though something needs to change even more. And I got nothing, man. I'm at a loss for words.
I would like to offer my services to Jimmy and D Haslam. I'm a strategist. It's for advertising and for an ad agency, but I can think. That's what we do. So I'll help you right this ship. Just let me know. I'll come on over. We could do it on the weekends if you want. I'll do it as a side gig because anything would be better at this point. Like literally anything. And I get
Well,
what you're saying. But, not firing Stefanski because he was two-time coach of the year and we wanna give more time whatever we're saying there, it's like saying, "Hey, you're the CEO of X company, and 10 years ago, you were the most profitable CEO of all time, most profitable company of all time, but you've made decisions in the last 10 years that you've been overtaken by every single rival." You don't keep with that. You don't pay for past performance. You don't pay for the results that aren't
true.
here now. You
No,
move on. You
that's a
find the
great
guy
analogy.
or
No,
girl.
I can't argue with you on that at all. I think that's a fantastic analogy. Quotes like the Madden one that you brought up are another detriment to this whole entire process and what's going on. I can't argue with you, but I
I
also
think
still am going to stand in my belief of not doing a mid-season fire. I just don't think it ever helps
but you could
anything. But
start the search process. That's what helps.
they're not going to
Uh,
hire anybody until the same time that anybody else would hire anybody. You know
I
that.
didn't say they're gonna hire somebody, but you could start the process. You can start interviewing. You can have somebody in place potentially sooner. I just I don't know, man. I'm at the point where like I really think that if we put the entire organization into Chat GPT, Chat would run it better than what we're seeing right now. Like, and I'm
Could you
being
imagine?
serious. Like I'm not even being
I know.
facetious when I say
No, I
that.
know, but could you imagine like that? I wouldn't put that past the Haslams. Like, I believe it was Jason Lloyd talking on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show about the fact that they used to use like those, the draft magazines that were popular back in the day, so people knew what was going on with prospects, not the fantasy ones, but the actual NFL draft ones. How at one point they were looking at those as points of reference. So why not try AI? Like we're
I I could
analytical.
see Jimmy, should we take a risk and get Deshaun Watson? And yes, I think Jimmy Haslam is probably a hunt and pecker. I don't see him as being a great typer, but you can see it. I don't know what chat like. Can we influence what he's looking at? You get what I'm saying, though. Like, I'm just fed up, man. Like, I don't know if I've gotten that across well. I think I have, but I think I'm reflective of the wider fan base when I say, "OH, like it's Buckeye season now." I'm gonna
It's
keep watching. I'm gonna keep being miserable on Sundays. But as weird as it was not to have the Browns on last week and to miss that element of my Sunday, looking back, it's kinda nice. It was kinda nice to do whatever I wanted on Sunday.
I know I ran some errands. I still got to watch some football. It was great, but I hope there's a turning point. It's not going to be this season, but sooner rather than later for this damn franchise, man, because it has been an absolute catastrophe. And of course, we will continue to cover it and talk and give our opinions about the Cleveland Browns all year long, because of course we are, because we like Cleveland sports and that's what we do. Eric, why don't we cover what we got going on coming up this weekend?
Do we have to? Do we have to go? No,
Yeah.
this weekend, Noah is doing a solo show from Unilot. No, we will be in Muni. Come say hi. Come enter to win a Cavs jersey. Browns is an option too, but I really don't want to give them our money, so please pick the Cavs. Listen, when we're live, we're gonna have a good time. You can come have a drink with us. You can get on air. You want to get your frustrations out in a family-friendly way that uses language that we can all listen to, then come on over, find us, and we'll put you on air because I want to hear what you think and what you think the direction of this Browns team should be going. But we will be live at 2 p.m. It's a 4:25 kick. And all you got to do is find that at the office flag flying high. We'll be in the front lot of Muni, but look for the flag. It's pretty easy to spot. Noah, I teed it up a little bit, but we are giving something away.
Yeah, I don't really even have to cover it. Any Browns or Cavs jerseys for your own mental sake and ours, please pick the Cavs jersey, subscribe, and leave a comment here to the At the Office YouTube page. Winner will be chosen November 17th. Please choose the jersey responsibly.
Like literally, like I am so tired of giving money to the Browns organization. So please choose the Cavs. Like, I won't hold it against you if you pick a Browns player. Um, but I really hope you don't pick a Browns player.
Everybody have a safe, wonderful start to their week. Don't let this victory, not victory, losing Monday ruin your tune because we should be used to it. This is Cleveland Browns football, and it's going to be like that for the time being. Shout out everybody that came and checked out and hung out with us at High and Dry. That was a fun show. That's all I got, man.
It's a good time. The, special I had, was really good. They did, chicken and dumplings, like, kinda like a stew, I guess, basically.
Yeah.
That was really solid. That was the best part of the day. Not the Browns, hanging out with friends and basically people that are family and, having a good meal.
Yeah. Go Bucks, go Cavs. That's all I got, man.
The debate never ends, but the show does for now. We'll see you next time.